Hey guys, it's Nisa. So today, instead of using a whiteboard like a lot of people do for these kind of videos, I couldn't find mine, so I'm just going to use a notebook and a black marker like this. And today we're going to be showing you, well, I'm going to be showing you why we shouldn't just do abstinence only education. I know the whole of America loves doing it this way, but it's just not working. And as a kid myself who's seen crazy things happening in my school that I can't even begin to imagine, I'm going to be showing you reasons why it just does not work. So basically, there's a small circle, and there's many circles to the aspects of life. And one of them happens to be sex. So usually, instead of teaching sex ed, America seems to want to teach abstinence only, or actually no sexual education at all, which could end really badly when people don't understand how life forms. And basically, a lot of things can happen from that. For one, kids can be able to see porn, especially with the internet being so easy to find porn these days, and it's everywhere. It's so hard to hide it anymore. And I guess the next thing is, they get misinformed from their friends or, stuff like that. Because that's happened with some of my friends, and I didn't get misinformed, but I'm talking about they got misinformed from each other. So it was really hard to talk to them without them, thinking all these wrong things. And I kept trying to correct them. It was so hard because they thought what they knew was right. And I guess the last thing would be just to be confused when they get older, They get confused, or they are confused for a long period of time until they actually get the right information. And it's really, really hard to tell them the right information when the people who know the information are refusing to tell them the right information. Sorry if that's really confusing. So basically, these all come together as factors from the problem that there is a lack of real education being told to the children, as well as this comes from the people who do know what the education is, which are parents and teachers. Now, these parents and teachers, they're refusing to teach the kids because they don't want them to know. But it's not going to be some big old talk like people make it. It has to be a lot of separate talks. So the truth is, you just need to be careful on what you tell your child at appropriate age, so you just need to realize what age is appropriate and answer their questions. Oh, and sorry I messed up the writing. I'm not using a pencil where I can just easily erase, and I'm trying to rush this a little, so I'm sorry. So basically, this is why America has the #1 highest rate of teen pregnancies and STIs out of almost all first world countries. And so I'm really sorry I messed up a lot of writing, but I was just trying to get the word out there, no matter how sloppy it looks. I'm trying to show you guys the easiest way as to why we need to stop preaching abstinence and start actually using what we know. Unless you guys don't know the information and it was your parents who messed up. So I'm really sorry for anyone who did that, because that's not fair. And if you don't know the right answers, you can easily look up, just make it so that you click science websites. Because the problem is when people look up what is sex, all that really comes up is porn and porn and porn. So it's really hard for a lot of people to learn, and especially when stupid people are always saying kids should just learn from the internet. I mean, honestly, what do you think is going to happen? The kids will find porn. So basically, what sources that kids should be learning from are parents, schools, or teachers from schools, or guardians and scientists. But sadly, what kids are currently learning from are... I couldn't write this down in this clip because my dad interrupted it, so I just stopped there, but I'll write it down and have an exclusive, just a viewing with music over it. So basically what they're currently learning from is the media, porn, internet, or social media. They're learning from misinformed friends who really don't know anything, and they're just learning from a lot of sources who don't even know what they're talking about. They don't know what to do, and all they end up doing is get confused, or they're just going to think they know the right information and they're not. And I keep repeating this because a lot of people seem to not be getting this message, no matter how many times people are talking about this. So I'm not going to stop repeating it until people actually understand what I'm saying. And I get that some adults may have trouble because they might have not not a good experience, but it's their job to make it so it's better than the last time when their experiences happened. Also, sorry, I couldn't actually put the music in this clip because if I tried to, it would go over the entire movie thing, and I hate how that happens because I can't just put it in a clip in the middle of the movie or something. And yeah, this isn't the end of the video because I have just a few more things to say, and I know this is being really long, but I definitely have something to share with you guys that's still really shocking, and I need to tell you guys so you guys can realize that this is a problem. Also, I'm sorry I said to you guys so much. It's just something I usually do, so yeah. So here's one of the shocking things I said I was going to mention, and this is that my friends were always trying to make dirty jokes out of everything at ages 8 and 9. And I get the dirty jokes are not all that bad, but honestly, at that young an age, and they were misinformed because, trust me, I've heard what they knew, and it was definitely not the right information because I was thankfully taught by my parents. I was one of those few lucky people who was actually taught by their parents because most kids today do not ever even communicate with their parents, which is sad, and their parents just don't want to tell them. So yeah, and it was sad because it was like starting at 8 and 9 years old, and they still probably do that today when they're like 11 and 12 years old. Another thing is that my friend was already trying to date a lot of guys, and she started in 2nd to 3rd grade, and she's still doing it, and she always had a boyfriend for like less than a month or less than a few months, and then she'd be single taken, and it would be so annoying because I kept thinking to myself, this is sick. What happened to the teenage love? Because when I was little, I grew up knowing that teenagers are the only people who are meant to be dating and have boyfriends and girlfriends. That's true. So basically, I keep saying so basically, another thing was that my old neighbor used to be able to do like a lot of bad things, and she was like remember this, she was 2 years younger than me, so I'm around 12 now, and I'm really mature for my age, but she would be 10 now. She was like, what, 6, 7, 8 when I used to live there, and she was doing like a lot of stuff that teens should be doing, like, well, not even should be doing, but teens would usually do, and it was really sad because her parents never even cared. She was able to, like, curse a lot, and I wouldn't say that's really bad, but she was using it as, you know, a bad way. She was cursing just for the fun of it, just to be cool. She was cursing a lot, and she was doing, like, really bad things. She would always try to make me do it, and of course, I would say no. Of course, I knew what was wrong and what wasn't, and it was, like, really upsetting that I was friends with her, so I never talked to her anymore, of course, because she was a total, like, pain in the butt. So, yeah. Hey guys, so if you made it through this video, congratulations. If you didn't, it's okay. You really didn't have to watch the whole thing. It's just the end was mostly an experience that I have faced. In fact, I have some more experience to share with you. A lot of kids in my old school, well, not my old school, but like from last year, they were in 6th grade, remember this. And most 6th graders should not be doing that. And thankfully, that was the 1 year. But it was the worst 6th grade year they've ever had at my school. They were doing stuff that you would not expect them to be doing at their age. There were like too many kids dating and trying to kiss and make out and do you know sex, and it was ridiculous because you're in 6th grade. These kids were what, 12, maybe a few 13, mostly 11 and 12. It upset me. It was very sad to see that this generation is so bad because there are kids having kids. That's not right. That's not right. We need to stop this, and this is one of the few ways we can. If we don't, you're going to be, you know, a lot of people are really ignorant. They don't pay attention to what kids are capable of and what they're doing. They don't pay attention. A lot of parents don't think they're going to do anything if they just don't tell them. But no, that just makes it worse because kids are going to think that they can't talk to their parents about it and that they're just going to go somewhere else to find the information. Goodness gracious. God, why? Why? Why are these parents doing this? So this is just a note to tell you guys, please don't, please. So, yeah, this is the end of the video. So, you only needed to watch really like half of it or less than half of it for the beginning because that's basically all I was saying. And I was just repeating it in a different way. So, bye guys.